Got here some 1968 C10 Chevys, two-wheel drive trucks. These are made by First Gear, scale 125. Another scale, again, I try to get, as long as they're a good model, 125 really does it for me. These are some nice trucks and they're very rare. I've been trying to keep track of these over the years. These came out in 2010. And First Gear made a few of these in different paint schemes and decoration and all that stuff, but these two don't come up so often. The the regular stock one they did in the turquoise, and then they had the case version, and that was another rare truck. Yeah, these are cool trucks. Yeah, good paint. First Gear has really good attention to detail, and we'll get a look at them. This one just has a really nice color scheme on it with the white wheels and you got the top that's done. It's just a good looking truck. It's got the tampo for the script, and it's got opening hood and doors, tailgate operates, rolls nicely. Yep. Even has the tampo on the center caps. So you got your Chevrolet wheels. They didn't put in any kind of like stamping in the wheel, but in terms of the holes that you'll see through there when they stamp those two-piece steel wheels. But the hubcap looks real good, doesn't it? And it's got dual exhaust, and we'll look at the chassis in a minute. And there's a 67 grill, and it's got the Chevrolet emblem. And it's just tampo, it's nothing special. It's tampoed on there, but it's good, and it's in the right position, right, color. Chrome. And then they did the detail, they made sure they painted the grill. There you go. Check that out. Simple chrome, but it gets the job done in the relief, as always with First Gear's first rate. Painted white bumper, very common back then. So this would have been a real base truck. When we look under the hood, we'll see it's got a small block in it. It's 68. They had the 307. And you probably could still get the small block 327, depended. And the other thing about these trucks is, leaf spring versus coil in the back. I mean, the coils were standard on the Chevrolet, but on the GMC, the Sierra, or the GMC, whatever it was back then, they're a half ton. They came standard, as a professional grade truck with leaf springs. So just a little bit of a different, but leaf spring option on this truck too. Standard with the 4-wheel drive. You could get 4-wheel drive from the factory. It's a solid axle on the front, but the 2-wheel drive trucks had the independent front suspension. Take a look at it. Let's open it up. It's got the big 3-spoke steering wheel that those GM trucks had back then. And it's got some tampo printing on the gauges, so that looks really good. And it's got a nice little floor stick in there. So none of that common stuff for them 3-speed trucks back then is have 3 on the tree. Had a real floor shifter and probably 3 or 4-speed at least. And it had a lot of transmissions too. So a half-ton truck, you could get a lot of different transmissions. You get the 2-speed power glide, you get a 3-speed turbo 350 or turbo 400. So it had a lot of different transmissions in addition to probably a couple 4-speed manuals and a 3-speed base truck. So really cool stuff. Back comes open. Taillights are tampo. They're not like a green line or something else. They're not a clear plastic or anything like that. But again, First Gear always has the scale and the body panels correct, and the inset on the wheels, they just do really well. Nothing goofy. Nothing looks goofy with their vehicles when you look at them. They sit always really well, and they do what they represent. You can really look at this truck for a long time, have it in a display, go underneath. Notice on this one, I've had this for a while, and the mirror broke off on this one, so I kind of play with this one a little bit and look at it a lot. But The white one, the case one, the other one, another rare truck. That one's pretty much pristine. That one stays on the shelf with this one, and that one really doesn't get touched too much. But this one, you know, it's good to look at it once in a while. So yeah, you got the Chevy small block. You got your manual transmission. You can see the detail on the exhaust is really nice, and again, the coloring is good. Simple chassis, but still well defined. And there's your coil sprung and the dual exhaust. So it's just a great looking truck. And then you see the good detail on the brake drum. You know, this probably would have been a 4-wheel brake, probably manual brake truck. Probably lucky if you get power steering. At least that would be something. Rather have the power steering than the brakes, but whatever. I'm gonna be driving this thing that fast anyway. Open up the hood again. Nice hinge, really nice hinge, and they got the coloring, and the size of the block is correct. A lot of times you get these trucks, you know, these scale trucks like a Motor Max or whatever, and it's just a mess under the hood. But take a look at first gear. I mean, this is why you pay a little bit more for the vehicle, but it's all worth it. It really is. I've been collecting first gear since the old 1/34 scale trucks, and I've got a bunch of those. We'll go over those maybe. Take a couple of those out of my collection too. Those are ones that really got me into the diecast hobby in the first place. There's the motor, single snorkel, air intake. You got your upper radiator hose, and you got your famous small block header, exhaust manifold, excuse me. And then we painted our black fender, inner fenders are black flat. Yeah, flat black, and then we got our master. And you know what? It's got a booster, so maybe it was a power brake truck. And it's simple in there, but it's still really well defined, and there's a lot of stuff in there to look at. So still satisfying. Core support, body collar, just like it was back then, and you can see how the hood opens really tall. And then another thing you notice about this truck, that's all metal, that door. It's not plastic, or it's not a two-piece door where the small stuff is plastic. That's actually cast as one piece, and it has the detail on the door just like the real one. You can see if we can get a little closer to it. You'll see the edge of the door is molded, and it's really thin, and then they'll sandwich in that quarter window. But look at it from the outside, that's all metal. The black and the white, that's all metal, and they paint it out. Yeah, it's really cool. Dog leg hinge, but the door action is really smooth, and it closes very nicely. Door gap stays consistent. You see you got your bench seat interior. You get a better view of the shifter. You know, they got the rubber boot, the floor. If you really wanted to take this vehicle apart in detail even further, I mean, it would look even better, but there's no need. I mean, it's just nice to see a company paying attention to the vehicle that way and having it in a cool scale. I mean, this is the American scale, 125. There's your exhaust, looks awesome. It's a great truck. It's got your Tampo, you got your Texas tag with your 68 registration. Yep. And then we'll look at the white one real quick. I mean, it's going to be the same. Came out the same time. They said they had a couple of releases, but, you know, nothing too recent. You got the new international trucks that they came out with, but, you know, these are the 125th scale trucks. And there's the mirror. That's what it looks like when it's attached. So this one's what I would say mint condition truck, and I still got the boxes, of course. As you can see, they kind of do like a plain box. They really don't differentiate. You just have to look at, sometimes first gear just puts it on the barcode, so underneath the box it'll show, you know, if it's the stock truck or if it's going to be the case. And same interior, but it's got a really cool period correct case Tampo. And then you could see the nice separate gas cap and the C10 Chevy logo, and you can see also, you'll notice the hubcaps. That was another thing. You notice that you got a Tampo here, and then you got this one. So I mean, both are, you know, they're out there like that. So it just depends. But yeah, that's pretty correct. Bed's really nice. Long bed truck, not a short bed. Be cool if they redid these and did short beds and stuff, you know. I'm sure they could do it. Wouldn't cost them too much more money to retool a bed. And then there's your case in the back, and you got your Chevrolet picked out, and you can see there it's in black. And then on this one, it's in white. Just cool trucks. They're really cool. They look good with the models too that you can do. You know, this actually looks better than the Ertl or the old MPC or wherever the AMT kit from the old days. This is one-piece bed instead of that multi-piece thing. You know, looks really sharp truck. Or at least good to have with the other ones. You know, you got a 65 Revell that you could put together. You could put this there. So it's a good truck. I mean, first gear, you know, if you haven't liked them because of their funny scales, I mean, they've been doing 125 stuff for a while. It's definitely worth a look. Highly recommended. 1968 Chevrolet C10 pickups. Till next time.